Hi, this is Dominic from the Lansing location, and for today's Tech Tuesday, we are going to discuss Apple's big switch to their own CPU processors for the Mac. Apple's laptops and desktops have been using Intel processors for the last 15 years. However, Apple has announced that they are creating their own computer processor referred to as Apple Silicon. Apple already uses their own processors in their iPads and iPhones, which helps in their preparation to release their own processor for the Mac. In Apple's journey to make better Macs, this will not be Apple's first rodeo in making major modifications in their Mac product line. In fact, Apple has had 3 major changes up to this point. In the mid-90s, the Mac went from Motorola's 68K to IBM's PowerPC. And in 2001, Apple went from OS 9 to OS 10. And in 2005, Apple made the transition from PowerPC to Intel processors. Over the last few years, Intel was lagging behind in their performance roadmap for their CPUs. Being stuck on the 14nm architecture, the performance would improve generation by generation, but the thermals would increase as well, getting to the point where laptops and even desktop Macs would have massive heat issues, with the processors reaching temperatures of over 100 degrees Celsius. Temperatures this high can greatly decrease the life of your Mac. Apple creating their own processor will bring improved performance with better energy efficiency. Apple's advanced power management and optimization will maximize your computer's performance. By creating a common processor across all Apple devices, it will now be possible to run iPad and iPhone apps on your Mac with no software modifications. Now, speaking of apps, Apple has all of their consumer and professional apps all ready for Apple Silicon, such as iMovie, GarageBand, Final Cut Pro 10, and Logic 10. For everyone else, developers using Xcode just need to do no more than a few days of work to fully optimize an app to run in Apple Silicon. For apps that haven't made this transition, there is something called Rosetta 2, a transition layer that can translate Intel binary code to something that your Apple Silicon Mac can run on. The first installment of Apple Silicon supported Macs are supposed to be released by the end of the year. However, Apple says it will take about 2 years to transition all Macs to Apple Silicon. And as of the recording of this video, it is rumored that the MacBook and MacBook Air product lines will be the first in this transition. Then following the iMac, MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, the iMac Pro, and last but not least, the Mac Pro. I want to thank you for tuning into this Tech Tuesday, and we hope to see you again next week.